Hello and welcome, and thanks so much for joining us. And in the next 45 minutes, we will be introducing the latest new features available following the CorelDRAW Graphics Suite subscriber exclusive release this September. Corel is committed to ensuring that we continue to help our customers drive creative success, and this release aims to deliver on that commitment and provide maximum value to you. You'll see some of the compelling new features and enhancements in action, which, if you are already a current subscriber or a customer who is on active CorelDRAW maintenance, which is part of a perpetual license, then you'll automatically have access to these features. My name is Jo Levens, and I'm part of the marketing team based here in the UK. And I'm delighted to introduce to you today my colleague Klaus Vossen, who will do the main presentation. He will walk us through the exciting new features of this subscriber exclusive release. Klaus is a senior product manager and leads the product management of the CorelDRAW family of products and works very closely with the research and development teams at Corel to deliver products that delight you and continue to provide value. Klaus, over to you.
Thank you, Jo, for the introduction. You will see today that our October 2021 CorelDRAW Graphics Suite subscriber exclusive update is packed with perks for designers that demand the latest and greatest. Before we jump into the new features and enhancements of this update, let me start by quickly explaining what CorelDRAW Graphics Suite is all about, for those who are not familiar with Corel's flagship graphics software. CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021 is a comprehensive suite of applications, and it has the versatility to satisfy any creative need. Chosen by professionals across a variety of demanding industries including manufacturing, engineering, sign making and large format printing, marketing, apparel and textile, retail and e-commerce, and more, CorelDRAW Graphics Suite is a trusted toolset for designers and businesses worldwide. CorelDRAW Graphics Suite is designed to get the job done. Tackle projects quicker and more easily with advanced illustration and progressive photo editing tools. Boost your productivity with next-generation collaboration that streamlines your design journey and review process, and create more efficiently with a flexible design space with multi-page layout and multi-export workflows. CorelDRAW is there for you to create compelling designs how you want, when you want, and where you want. Now, 6 months after we've introduced CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021 with many key enhancements to help your productivity, creativity, and enabling collaboration in a world of social distance and remote working, we are providing our subscribers with even more great new features to add value to the CorelDRAW that helps you getting all your design jobs done. Subscribers are used to see special benefits with their subscription. You're always up to date with access to the latest version of the software, the moment it becomes available. Subscription is the most affordable way of accessing all the tools and benefit from the latest developments and support for the latest technology. And now we're adding more value to a subscription as we deliver exclusive features and content to our subscribers, not only once a year with an annual new release of the software, but also throughout the year with this subscriber exclusive update launched 2 weeks ago. There are 3 main areas of enhancements that we want to show you today. Number 1, we're introducing a whole new functional area to CorelDRAW by providing all new asset management features inside CorelDRAW. With asset management, you can now manage and collaboratively use not only design projects, but also design elements such as symbols and symbol libraries across projects and shared with team members or even across teams. With assets being stored in the cloud, shared assets are being synchronized between projects so that the cloud becomes the single source of truth for your design assets. With new Google Fonts integration, you can now cut out the steps to creating head-turning typography with direct access to over 1,000 Google Fonts families in Corel Font Manager. Effortlessly browse, search and preview the Google Fonts library, which includes a number of new variable fonts without having to install the fonts you want to use. This comes on top of the over 1,000 fonts that are already available as included font packages in CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021. An enhanced collaboration workflow makes working with colleagues and clients in a remote world more efficient than ever. Enjoy a streamlined sign-in process and performance enhancements for faster saving, opening, and sharing of cloud designs. Now, let's jump right into it to show these new and enhanced tools and features in CorelDRAW Graphics Suite. I'm going to start demonstrating the new features on a Mac, and then later on I will switch to Windows to show more of the key features of this new release. Thanks to parallels, that's easy enough to do. Okay, so here we are in CorelDRAW, and let me start Corel Font Manager to show you how Google Fonts integration works in CorelDRAW Graphics Suite with the new subscriber exclusive update. Corel Font Manager is there to manage and access and find all the fonts you want to use in your designs. And new in Corel Font Manager with this update, you will find a new section online. And that section provides access to all the CorelDRAW fonts that we provide included with CorelDRAW Graphics Suite. So that's the majority of these over 1,000 fonts that we deliver with the product. And now new with the subscriber exclusive update, you also have access to Google Fonts. And Google Fonts, that's at this point in time 4,721 fonts, single fonts in these over 1,000 font families. And you have access to all of these fonts online. So while you're connected to the internet, you can find and select from these fonts online for using it with your designs. You can use all the filter functions in Corel Font Manager. So for example, I want to search for variable fonts, which there are a number of included with Google Fonts. And then I can search for a specific name or use other filter options down here. So in this case, let me search for a full count font, as this is what I want to use. And now for using fonts in CorelDRAW designs, I can download fonts. In this case, I've already done that before, and I can install it. Installing fonts is only needed for when you want to use these fonts in other applications outside CorelDRAW. That's also a great option in Corel Font Manager, to use that to manage your fonts for any application on the system, in this case on a Mac. But for now, I only want to use this font in CorelDRAW designs, and for that I do not even need to install it. So I'm good with downloading that font. I've done that with these full count fonts before, and that's all I need for using these Google fonts in my designs. Let me do one more step, as I want to find that more easily. So let me just select a number of these fonts. So let's pick all of those and then add them to my favorites collection. And then I'm done. So I now have these in my favorites collection. You see with this yellow indicator that these fonts have been downloaded. Installing a font will result in a green bar as the indicator for installed fonts. But again, I do not need to install the font, as I only want to use it in CorelDRAW in my designs, and no need to install and slow down the system performance by installing hundreds or thousands of fonts if I only want to use them in CorelDRAW designs. Here we are in CorelDRAW. And that's a design that's actually customer artwork provided by the designer Marcin Wilczynski. And yeah, this is a template that you also get as a CorelDRAW subscriber. So with this template that has a lot of content included, and I want to use this to manipulate, to edit the fonts in certain text objects. Let's use this one as an example. That's currently Times New Roman, and I can now access all the fonts that I've previously selected, managed, downloaded in Corel Font Manager. I've previously selected this one. This is why it shows up in the at the top of the list, but I want to take you through how you would typically do this. So I can use the same filter options as in Corel Font Manager. For example, again, I can preview or filter variable fonts only. That will, in this case, provide access to all the variable fonts I've previously downloaded. And that should include all the full count fonts as well. So that's probably down the list here. Yeah, there you are. And now I can select from here, but as I've made that selection previously, I can also go to the top and make that selection from here. And it's instantly updated in my selected text object. And since this is a variable font, I can use the variable parameters. Weight is the one and only parameter in this Falcon font. So I can make adjustments that are instantly reflected in the design. Let me use one other example just to show this with a little more visual effect. So I zoom in here and then you can see, okay, I should make this a little thicker and wider so that it perfectly aligns to the line below. So that looks good. This is how I can use the typography features and tools in CorelDRAW. And now with the integration of Google Fonts that I can then pick from all of these almost 5,000 single individual fonts and use those in my designs and then save it to the CorelDRAW file format. And depending on the embedding rights, this will then be embedded in the CorelDRAW file so that you can share it and make sure that all these fonts display in the exact same way as you've envisioned it in your original design. This is Google Fonts integration in CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021, subscriber exclusive update. Now let's move to next topic. I've told you that we have introduced a new feature, a new functional area, asset management. This is what I want to show you now in CorelDRAW on Windows. And that's where I switch to a Windows partition. With this artwork, I want to show you the new asset management workflow support in CorelDRAW. This artwork has been created by an artist from Brazil named Octo. And you can see this brand design here, these brand assets for the Kadima brand using repetitive elements, as you can see with this word mark of the Kadima brand. This word mark also is used in the logo. There is different variations of that logo that are used throughout the document, this presentation as a multi-page design file. Now, I want to show you how asset management really can be leveraged for creating, managing, and using such assets in a very effective manner. One way of using repetitive elements in CorelDRAW is using symbols. And there is a symbols Docker on Windows, Inspector on Mac, that has been there for quite a while. And I will use that Docker to show you how this is being extended and enhanced for being used with asset management as one of the two central places where asset management actually happens. There is a new Docker that I want to show first, and when you look at this, you may remember this as the content Docker. We've renamed that and we've significantly enhanced that, as this is the central hub for asset management going forward. There is 2 new tabs in this Docker, and I want to go to the cloud assets. Before I do that, just a word on this tab, which was the one and only tab in the content Docker previously. This provides access to all your local content, including the content that you have downloaded from the welcome screen through the welcome screen as included content with CorelDRAW Graphics Suite. Not much in here, as I want to focus on the cloud assets today. So this new tab opens up a display to the assets that I have access to in the cloud. This is, in this case, mostly my own assets that I have saved to the cloud and can access it from here. So you see the preview thumbnails of these CorelDRAW files, and then you see these icons with circle, triangle, and box, which is an icon for Corel symbol libraries, CSL files, and there is a few there. And you will notice down here that there is a chain icon which indicates this asset library, this symbol library is linked to this document already. So I've done that as a preparation step. I want to show you how you can use assets in a very effective manner, and that logo, the Octo logo as a symbol library file, is one of the assets I'm going to use. I can show you how to link assets that you have access to a document. So this Cloud Assets view in the Assets Docker is meant to provide an overview and access to all the assets. And when you decide to use an asset library in a design file like this one, then a right click and click on Link to Document will get you there. There is a message that explains where to go to from here, as this linked symbol library can now be accessed in the Symbols Docker for further use. And that's what I'm going to do. And now we have that same icon here. And then let me switch to the Symbols Docker, which has a new tab up here in the navigation. There is a new linked symbols section in here. And in this section, you will see the two symbol libraries that are linked to this document. Now, let me switch back to the Assets Docker, as there is a third tab in the Assets Docker. So I want to show you what this is all about. I've linked these two files to my document. Where's the... oh, there it is. Second one and first one. And yes, it can get complex to find the linked documents from this assets, from the Cloud Assets, as this provides access and visibility to all of the assets I can access. So that's what the third tab is for. Here you see which assets are actually being linked to this design file that I'm working on. And you see two different icons up here. So first thing, there is a cloud icon with two people icons in the top right, and that indicates this asset library is actually not a file that I own, but it's a shared asset that someone else has shared with me, and I have access to it as it has been shared with me. The other one, the Octo logo, has a red dot, and that indicates this symbol library is actually updated on the server in the cloud, and the version I have linked here is newer than what I'm actually using in the document. And I will now go back to the Symbols Docker to explain you what this process of updating and syncing assets is all about. But first, let's use these symbols and show you some things you can do with these. So you see in this design file, there is these logos used a few times, and you will see that up here. So this particular logo has been used eight times. Let me switch to something else. So this one has been used 2 times, and I actually want to insert this one on page 3. So here we go. Then let me center this to the to that page or that flyer. So that's where this should be positioned. And you see up here in the Symbols Docker that there are, with this one, 3 instances of this symbol used in the file. You see that same symbol is found here, and then in a third place on a different page, probably. Okay. Now, let me show you something else. Let's scroll down here, and I've mentioned in the beginning that this is designed by a designer named Octo, and that's his logo. And that logo is also defined as a symbol, and it is used a few times in the document. I guess, no, it's used exactly 1 time as 1 instance. So let me use that symbol a few more times in this document, and then I will show you something else. So as this brand design has been created by the designer Octo. I want his logo to be prominently displayed on the pages. Okay, so now we see one thing down here. You may have noticed that the logo as it is provided and shared right now does not provide a great contrast to the design file, so that should be lighter. And actually this is the shared symbol I have mentioned previously. So let me go back to the assets docker once again. So this Octo logo file is updated on the server. That's what the red dot is about. So that's my notification to see, okay, here is a new version available, and maybe I should update that. I can do that in two places. So one, I can use the assets docker with a right click and sync the linked assets from this asset library. That will sync and update all of the assets, all of the symbol definitions in that CSL symbol library file. That's one option. I want to use the other option and show you that. You can also update one symbol definition by selecting it, selecting any instance in the file, and then you see the toolbar up here. That comes up when I select a symbol instance, and in this case, this provides the option to update this symbol definition. If there is no such option, as there is no update available, then this would be grayed out as the edit master option is grayed out. This is a linked symbol, so I cannot edit the symbol definition in this file. I would have to open the symbol library, and in this case it's a shared symbol library, so I cannot even edit it, but I can update it to the latest version that has been shared with me. And I do that by clicking the update button, and you see all of the instances, all 6 instances in the design file are updated at once. Now, you've seen how assets are being used or can be used in a design file and in a project. I've mentioned a few times that this asset is a shared one and not owned by me. So how do you access shared assets, or how do you even see if assets are being shared with you? That's where the dashboard is being used. So we have introduced the dashboard in March this year, and the dashboard provides access to all the cloud files that you have stored in your cloud drive, or now new, it also shows assets that have been shared with you. Here's my assets, or parts of the files that I've stored. This is all the design files I have stored in my cloud from the designer Octo. And then there is a new button down here in the dashboard that is new from the subscriber exclusive update, assets shared with me, and that shows all the assets that others have shared with you. When someone shares an asset with you, you will receive an email notification. I will show that process in a couple of minutes. And that's not the only way to realize that you have received access to a shared asset, but you can also look it up in the dashboard in that assets shared with me folder, and then you can see who has shared it with you, and if there's more people that have access to it, and a few other data points about this shared asset. From here you can also unshare it. I will not do that, as I want to keep my access to this shared file. However, if for whatever reason you want to clean up your folder with many shared assets that are not relevant to you any longer, you can then use this button to unshare an asset so that it disappears from this view. All right, let's go back to the CorelDRAW application window. And how are you going to share symbols and symbol libraries with others? For that, we go back to the symbols docker, and I can share symbols that I have created and stored in a design file with others with a button up here in the settings in the symbols docker. There is a save to cloud button, and when I press that, I will open a dashboard type window again, and that will provide options for storing this symbol library file in the cloud. You can select the folder, the file name, and then you save this. And after you've done that, you can then share that library with others. I'm going to do that once it's saved. All right, that's done. So let's go to the dashboard once again. And in that dashboard view, I will now see that symbol library that I've just stored to the cloud, and then I can access that. It always takes a little time to load, especially when you share your screen. Now you see this new symbol library that I've just uploaded, and actually I have uploaded that once before, so that's why you see this is already there from a while ago. And that's where I can now share this file with someone else by entering an email address. Okay, so I add a user. I could add more users here, and you see that these participants will have access to the assets in CorelDRAW. And when I close that window, then there is the email notification sent as the invite to this shared file, and that's where the user I've shared that with is also notified what to do with that to access it from the assets Docker in CorelDRAW on Windows or Mac. So that's what I wanted to show for asset management, and now I actually want to switch to the third area that we want to present today, which is cloud collaboration with a number of enhancements. This part of the presentation has been pre-recorded to show you real-time collaboration with multiple contributors. First thing we want to show you is the streamlined sign-in options. You can sign in to the cloud in the comments Docker and in a few other places, and we've streamlined and unified the sign-in options. In the comments Docker, you now see two options. First, you can sign in with your Corel customer account, and second option is that you can enter comments without signing in. When you do that, you will create an anonymous comment, and that's good when you want to share a CorelDRAW file not in the cloud, but with someone else, including comments. I want to go with the sign-in option to use my Corel customer account. I could use that same sign-in option in the Save to Cloud or Open from Cloud features. Here I'm using that functionality in the comments Docker, which will then provide access to the comments with my sign-in username, as you can see here. Now I can add a comment, and when I'm done with that, I want to upload that file to the cloud and share with others. I can use the upload and share button in the comments Docker for doing that, and that will launch the dashboard where I can then save the file to the cloud and share it at the same time with others. Here's a link for everybody to view the file, and then I use private sharing for adding my clients and provide shared access to the file for my clients. I will select roles. So I've now added a reviewer, and then let me add a second person here, which will receive another role, as you can do reviewer roles, viewer roles, as you see up there, and also approver roles. And that's what I do here. Once I leave that dialog, then email notifications, email invitations will be sent to these users, and I get a confirmation message that this has actually happened. Next thing we're going to show is how a contributor will access this file in CorelDRAW.app in a browser. That's CorelDRAW.app in a browser on a desktop right now, and this is one of the contributors loading this file. and that takes a few seconds, and then here we are with a message, and then at the bottom you see that this file has been shared, and you also see what access is being provided. For this user it's review access, and then you can start adding comments, and we're using a split screen view here to show you how that contributor, that client, is using the comments functionality. And this is real-time collaboration. So on the left hand you see CorelDRAW desktop application on Windows, and the comments will be synchronized between the web app on the right and the desktop application on the left in real time. So there is almost no lag between the two, and this could actually be multiple or many users collaborating on that file at the same time. Now my client, while reviewing it, is adding further comments and notes, suggested edits, and all of these comments will display in the designer's desktop application at the same time. Once a comment is submitted, it will show up on the desktop, in the desktop application at the same time. Now I think we add one more comment with an arrow comment to, in this case, comment on the lines. And once that's done, we take a look at the designer's tasks again, as it's not a one-way conversation. So the designer can not only view the comments at any time, but can also reply to comments, as you can identify and locate the comments easily in the drawing. Then you can write a reply, and again, this reply will be updated for all of the contributors at the same time. We also send out email notifications summarizing the latest updates from time to time. So that's all to keep contributors up to date. Now we're back at the designer's desktop application, and the designer has not left CorelDRAW, so you can act on these comments instantly and make the required or suggested changes. Not a problem. That's done very quickly and easily. And once that's done, as the designer, as the creator of that file, you may want to use the comments again to reply to the individual comments to show that each individual comment has been addressed. And this is again updated for all the contributors who will see these replies and will be notified by email with a summary of these updates. Once this is all done, it makes sense to add a comment that everything has been addressed, so that the contributors will see what's the next step. And then for the designer, for the creator of the file, the next step is to save this updated file. Clicking the Save button will then upload the updated version to the cloud again, and then we will take another look at how this looks like for the contributor. And you see this update notification on screen in the web app. If you have a full screen web app, obviously this notification would be much smaller. Then you can reload the file, see all the updated comments, and you will see the updated design very quickly. And that's when the next phase is entered, as the user can now be an approver and receive a new role, so that comments can be resolved to make clear, okay, this is all read and accepted. And you see on the left side again, the comments disappear as the reviewer and approver resolves it. And once all the comments are resolved, then the last step is to approve this design in its updated revision. And that's it. So for the very last step, to confirm that everything is approved, and for verification and access later on, you can use the dashboard again, as you will see in there what status this design file has, and this design file is approved, and that concludes real-time online collaboration with the enhancements in the subscriber exclusive update. And that also concludes our demonstration of the new features, tools, and content exclusively available to subscribers of CorelDRAW Graphics Suite. As you've seen, there is many benefits of a CorelDRAW Graphics Suite subscription licensing, and as Joe pointed out in the beginning, these exclusive features are also available to our customers who own a software license with CorelSure maintenance. For as long as you keep your subscription or maintenance active, you will continue to benefit from updates and enhancements of the software. As we speak about latest technology, I'm happy to let you know that all of the CorelDRAW products that we've launched this year are fully compatible with the new Microsoft Windows 11. That includes CorelDRAW Essentials 2021, CorelDRAW Standard 2021, and certainly CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021. Also for those who have purchased the software for perpetual ownership without taking advantage of the subscription exclusive updates. Those of you who are active subscribers or own a license with active maintenance, the subscriber exclusive update is available to you for updating your installation of CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021. You should see a message inside the applications that offer the download and installation of the update patch. If you haven't tried out CorelDRAW Graphics Suite 2021 yet, we encourage you to go to www.CorelDRAW.com/SEU to download the free 15-day trial of the latest version. You can try out all the functionality, including but not limited to what you've seen today for asset management, Google Fonts integration, and online collaboration in the cloud. And if you're looking for a contact to the Corel team, to get a quote for business licenses, for example, please go to this page to get in touch with our team, www.CorelDRAW.com/get-a-quote. Thank you very much for joining us today, and thanks for your questions that have been posted during the session. Have a great day. Goodbye.